Okay, Halacha Yomi. We're up to over here, page 393, I believe. Yeah. 1 second. Yeah, 393. So we're talking about not benefiting from if a Gentile does Melacha for you on Shabbat, you're not allowed to benefit from it, right? Okay, fine. Now, what about if you have indirect benefit? 15. It is permitted to sleep in a room where a non-Jew turned off the light, even though one is benefiting from the lack of light. Because it's indirect benefit. It's not a direct benefit. He didn't create the darkness, so therefore it's indirect benefit, you're allowed. The question is, though, how are you going to get him to turn it off? So fine. Okay, granted that you could benefit from it because it's indirect benefit. But how are you going to get the guy to turn off the light in your room if you can't sleep? So we're going to learn a different time that you're allowed. In this case, you would have to hint. There's 3 layers to telling non-Jews to do Melacha for you. Number 1 is you can't tell them directly to do Melacha for you. And even if you avoid that by hinting, there's still a problem of benefiting from the Melacha that they did for you. So now you have to get rid of that issue. So in that case, we'll say, oh, he didn't create the darkness, so therefore I'm indirectly benefiting from it. And then there's another layer of I have to protest when a non-Jew is trying to do Melacha for me. So in this case, when there's indirect benefit and I hint, so then it will be permitted for a non-Jew to turn off the light in my room for me to be able to sleep. And when we say hint, it means you cannot have any command. You cannot command him what to do. You cannot tell him, I want you to go and turn off the light in my room. You have to say something slightly related. You have to, without commanding him, you have to say, I can't sleep in my room. I don't know what to do. You can't say, oh, if only someone would come and turn off the light in my room. Oh my goodness, that would be the best. You're hinting to commands. You have to just not command at all. You have to say, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck. It's a Sabbath for me. I can't turn it off. I have no real solution. I don't know what to do. And hopefully he puts 2 and 2 together. And he comes and he'll turn it off for you. What about benefiting? It's indirect benefit. Okay, fine. Let's say another case, 16. If a non-Jew turned off the fire to prevent the food from burning, it is still permitted to benefit from the food. Because again, he's saving it from burning. That's not considered direct benefit. It's indirectly benefiting. Okay, what about additional benefit? 17. It is permitted to benefit from Melacha of a non-Jew if the result of the Melacha only enhances or is in addition to an already acceptable condition. Right? For example, if a non-Jew turns on the light for a Jew, in addition to a light that was already on, or if it's during the daytime and there was sunlight in the room, and the light that was already there was sufficient for the needs of the Jew, it's permitted to benefit from the additional light as well. However, if the light that the Jew originally turned off, or had originally turns off, it is prohibited to benefit from the light of the non-Jew. So let's say I have a room where I could sit technically and read and eat and do everything I need to do. There's enough light there. It's not the best light in the world, but it's doable, it's usable. And the non-Jew comes and says, it'll strain your eyes if you use this kind of light. So he goes to turn on the light to make it really bright in the room. That'll be allowed. You're allowed to benefit from that because it's additional benefit. It's not the only benefit, it's additional benefit. But if the light you originally were straining your eyes to use, that goes out. So now you're only using the light that the non-Jew turned on for you, so then that'll be a sur. It'll become forbidden again. 18. If one's AC is running, but it does not sufficiently cool down the room, and a non-Jew came and adjusted the air conditioner so it's cooler, it is permitted to benefit from the air conditioner since the Melacha of the non-Jew merely enhanced the Jew's benefit. Right? Because telling the non-Jews to turn on the AC for you or fix the AC, it's not permitted unless there's a real suffering. Just to make it a little bit more comfortable is not really permitted. So let's say he did it on his own, you'll be allowed to benefit from it in such a case because it's an additional benefit. Okay, fine. Melacha, non-Jew did it for his own benefit, right? 20. If a non-Jew performed Melacha for his own benefit, for the goy's sake, a Jew may derive benefit from the Melacha as well. It is also permitted to derive benefit from the Melacha, even though the non-Jew is no longer benefiting from it, right? Let's say the non-Jew turned on a light in a room for his own purpose, and he left it on. Now you go into that room and use that light that he turned on. It's allowed because he turned it on originally for himself, right? 21. It is permitted to ask a non-Jew to perform a permitted act, even though the non-Jew will have to perform a Melacha in order to accomplish it. Let's say ask him, can you go bring me the broom? What did I ask a non-Jew to do? I asked him to bring me a broom. It's allowed. It's not Melacha. But what did he do? He went to the basement, turned on all the lights over there, and he brought the broom. So he did a lot of Melacha to go in order to get there. That's okay. That's allowed. And then what? And then I'm allowed to go and use that room now that has all that light. Why? Because he did it for himself. I never told him to do it. I told him to get a broom. So it comes out that it was permitted for me to benefit from that case. B. Yeah, go ahead.
That was like with the intention of I want to allow all the basement lights to be on.
So what did I do? How did I get him to turn it on without telling him to? Oh, I know. I'll tell him to go get a broom, and that way he'll go and turn on the lights anyways. Technically, yeah. B. If one's lights in one's home are off, it is permitted to invite non-Jews to the house to have some food or drink, and thereby cause the non-Jew to have to turn on the lights in order to attain the food. Here you go. That's the case we just spoke about. Okay. Let's say you need an item from a nearby place, right? So we forgot something very important for the event that we have on Shabbat. We're like, oh, listen, Mr. Gentile, you're a very good friend of ours. We forgot this item. Can you go get it? He said, yeah, no problem. He hops in his car and drives there. He drives all the way there. Comes back in 2 minutes. So we didn't tell him to go in a car. We would have walked. It would have taken us 10 minutes, but he got there in 2 minutes. So even if the non-Jew decides to drive there, since he's driving for his own convenience, and he could have walked instead, it's permitted to benefit from that. Okay. 23. If a non-Jew picked a fruit or caught a fish on Shabbat, even for his own benefit, one may not benefit from those items because they're considered muktzah. However, one may benefit from them immediately after Shabbat, and one does not have to wait for the time it takes for the non-Jew to perform Melacha. Good. But if he did it for your sake, if he caught those fish for your sake, or picked those fruit for your sake, no, it's forbidden. One would have to wait after Shabbat the amount of time it takes to the non-Jew to perform the Melacha. If there's a doubt whether the non-Jew picked the fruit for your sake or not, and is not known, or if it was not known that you did it on Shabbat or not, the fruit are prohibited throughout Shabbat until after Shabbat for the time that it would have taken to perform the Melacha. Okay, fine. Let's say a non-Jew had in mind for himself and for you, right? A non-Jew performed Melacha for himself and also intended for the Jew the Jew to benefit as well. It will be forbidden for the Jew to benefit from it. If it's a Doraita Melacha, it's a Melacha from the Torah, turning on a fire, let's say. The Rabbanan, we could be lenient. Okay. Let's see, where is this? Okay, 28. It is prohibited for a Jew to derive benefit from the Melacha of a non-Jewish acquaintance, even if the non-Jew is doing the Melacha for his own benefit, and even if the Jew was not present at the time of the Melacha. Right? The Chachamim forbade such a benefit, since the non-Jew may have performed an additional Melacha with a Jewish acquaintance in mind. Furthermore, when the non-Jew sees the Jew benefiting from the Melacha, he might come to perform other Melachot for him the next Shabbat. Sometimes people have this issue with roommates. They have a Jew and a non-Jew are roommates. So then it's very easy for him to catch on to what you like and have you in mind when he does certain Melachot in the house that might benefit as you. Okay. 30. If a non-Jew perform Melacha, such as turning on the light in the room, for non-Jews and Jews, a Jew may benefit from the Melacha if the following conditions are met. The majority of the people in the room are non-Jews, and we assume that the Melacha was done for majority, which is non-Jews. If its ratio is equal, so it's prohibited. Even if the room contains mostly Jews, if the non-Jew made immediate use of the Melacha he performed, it can be assumed that he did the Melacha primarily for his own interests. See, however, if it's clear that the non-Jew performed Melacha for the Jews, then even if there's a non-Jewish majority, it is prohibited. Okay, fine. Next time, we're going to speak about when you have hinting. When does hinting allowed, and when is hinting not hell? People think, oh, you just hint to the goy. You're right, you can't tell the goy to do Melacha for you. Just hint to him, it'll be mutar. No, it's not true. Hinting only works when it is permitted to benefit as well. Baruch